Hi, and welcome to the Hippo CMMS Express Training 1. Here's the agenda. You can expect this training to take approximately 20 minutes. First, to introduce myself, my name is Mel Motosh, Instructional Design and Developer here at Hippo. Training 1 will cover demand work orders, navigation to the system, dashboards or different viewing options, detail screens, and the work order search feature. I'll also point out where you can contact our Hippo Help Center or our support team with any questions that you might have. Now, let's get started. I'll first point out that Hippo is cloud-based. That means that your information is always live. You can log into Hippo using desktop, mobile device, or tablet. From any preferred browser, in the address bar, you'll first enter your unique client ID. This is typically the name of your organization or an acronym, followed by .hippo, cmms.com or .ca. Once you arrive at the login page, you'll enter your unique user ID and password. Then simply click on the Secure Login button. You might have an additional button at the bottom of the form. That means that your organization uses an SSO provider, and you can simply click here. Once you click on Secure Login and enter the system, you'll arrive at the Enterprise screen. Consider this screen your home page. This will give you an overview of what's happening regarding open work orders in each facility you are associated to. How do I create a work order? Let's create a demand, one of two different types of tickets in your Hippo system. Look for the Submit Work Order button, always located in the top left corner. When I click on this button, it opens the Submit Work Order form. It's safe to say any field outlined in red in Hippo means it's mandatory. Likewise, if you ever see a grayed out button, you can hover your cursor over it and it will tell you the steps needed. In order to create a demand, the first piece of information I'll type in is the work order name. This is usually what the job is about. For example, repair, replace, leaking sink, etc. Next, I'll select the facility that my issue is associated with. And then any type of ticket in Hippo must be associated to either a location, equipment, or vehicle within this facility. If I start with location, I can then select the floor plan by clicking on the drop-down. Once I select the floor plan, or really a way of putting your facility into a certain area, I'll then get a drop-down list of any location. I can click on the name, one, or multiple, or click on the name again to remove the check mark. If you start with equipment, how are you finding your particular details? Equipment can be searched by floor plan, model type, or some of you might even have asset ID numbers. Click in the field and enter the number here. I'll create a work order that is associated to equipment on the roof. Next, I'll add information into the description field. This is also a type field and any message that should be passed to the resource. A resource is a maintenance technician or anyone that will carry out the details of the work order. All other fields on this form are optional or anything outlined in gray. For example, you might want to associate a company or outside vendor. You may like to select a priority level or mark this ticket as critical. You can even add an estimated cost. Often, you'll scroll down to the bottom and select a resource. Again, a resource in Hippo is a maintenance technician. When I click in this field, I'll get a list of anyone that should carry out the details of this particular work order. You can select one or multiple. Once you're happy with the content of your demand work order or submit work order form, click on the Submit button. That's it. You've now created a demand work order. Well, where did my ticket go? A bit of navigation before I show you. I mentioned earlier that you'll arrive at the Enterprise screen. This gives you an overview of active work orders in each facility. At the Enterprise level or at any level, main panels are always on the left-hand side. For those of you that log in and see the Enterprise Admin panel, when you click on that panel, it reveals several others. These panels here are more top-level decisions or decisions that will affect your program system-wide. This is usually limited to a system admin user. From this page, to actually get to my tickets or my facility, I can click on this link here, or the small circular dot. Likewise, I can click on the overview box. It will show you how many open work orders or the total of open tickets. This total comes from two different work categories. PMs are the preventative maintenance work orders, regularly scheduled maintenance that you can customize a date which the ticket will generate. The other type of tickets we have are demands. That's the process I just showed you. The overview box will also show you if you have any maintenance requests that need to be approved or rejected, if any of the work orders have become overdue, and if any of the tickets have been labeled as critical. Click here to get to the actual work orders. I've now drilled down to my facility level. For those of you that are only associated to one facility, I'll even suggest that you set this as your default page, meaning every time you log in, you'll automatically arrive to this screen. The advantage of this is to the right-hand side, you'll be able to see the to-do list. Anything listed under your demand or PM dropdown means that these are open work orders that need to be addressed and carried out. Notice the icons. The small gear icon shows me that this work order is associated to an asset. The small house icon shows me that this work order is associated to a location in my facility. Green notifies us that the ticket has not started. Red means overdue. You'll also see a blue icon, which means the ticket is in progress, or yellow for on hold. Click on the name to open up the work order. Everything we've been discussing so far is on the advanced dashboard. It's one of your viewing options. From the advanced dashboard, this is your master list or master to-do list, but you'll also have these links located on the facility screen. Notice when I hover my cursor over the link, it helps me to narrow down from my to-do list, more specifically how many work orders are on each floor plan. I can click on the link and that will open up what is suggested an aerial view of your actual floor plan. By default, it will show me where the work orders are located. For example, when I click on the small green gear icon, it will list any open ticket for that asset. I can click on the row and also open up my work order. All of these areas here are filtering options, meaning I can view the keywords or colors to my icons. I can also see where every location is on a floor plan, work order or not. Any changes, simply hit Apply Filter button in the top right corner. If an icon comes up in gray, it means that there are currently no work orders for that location or asset. But I can click on the icon and recognize this button. I can submit a work order or a demand work order from here as well, minus one less field to fill in. Now, once you're on a floor plan, how do you get back to your main facility screen? Use the breadcrumb trail located in the top left corner. When I click on the word facility, it takes me back to my main facility page. Again, main panels to the system are always on the left-hand side. But when you're at a facility level, you'll notice it says Facility Admin instead of Enterprise Admin. This is where all your information or details are stored. For example, if you wanted to see a list of all your equipment, simply click on the Equipment panel to open up its grid. Here is where we store your information, or if you notice the icons in the top right corner, some of you may have permission to add a new asset to the system, so you can start creating work orders for that asset, or even delete information. There's an X button in the top right corner, which is pretty common in Hippo, meaning you want to close the screen without making any changes. If you'd like to get back to that main home page, perhaps to access tickets in another facility, click on the word Enterprise. And here you can drill down into any other level or facility in your system. Now, not only do you have the option of the advanced dashboard, but anything that's listed here, perhaps you'd rather view this information in another way. Click on the standard icon, and it will display the same open work orders. But notice that this contains a lot of additional information about each ticket. I can drag this to the right, or you can customize these column headers in the order that you would like them to appear. If you ever see a table settings button at the bottom left of any grid screen, click on this and click and drag the columns in order that you would like them to appear. Hit apply, and notice your column headers have changed. To open up a work order from the standard dashboard, simply click on any row. Again, I'm not changing any information to this ticket, so I'll click on the X in the top right corner to close my window. The other option you have is what we call the calendar dashboard. When I click on the calendar dashboard, notice that the color icons are consistent through any other dashboard, and by default it will show you when the work order was created. I can hover my mouse over the name of the work order to view information, or I can also click on the name to open up the ticket. It really is a matter of preference. The calendar dashboard also has a filtering option. When I click on the filter icon in the top right corner, I can view work orders by different statuses, search for tickets associated to particular resource names, view unscheduled or regularly scheduled tickets, or even search for work orders based on a work category. Notice that there's also a keyword search. Let's say you're searching for a ticket that has a particular name in the title. Simply type in the information here and hit search to see your results. You can also switch your view to view information of the work orders based on when they're due rather than when they're created. The nice thing about the calendar dashboard is that you can go in advance up until a year. Notice all these gray icons? That will show you which PMs are expected to generate for the rest of the week, day, or again, take a look at what's in advance come the following month up until 1 year. So wherever you prefer to open up your work order, How do you change your information? Top right corner, there is a status field. When I click on the drop-down, notice that there are several different statuses. For example, maybe I want to put the ticket on hold, and I'll scroll down and add comments. This is great to add notes or reminders or pass messages amongst your maintenance team. Because I've added or changed information to my work order form, I'll want to hit save. Notice that my icon has switched to yellow, meaning this ticket has been put on hold. Again, click on the name to open it. You can also go back to your standard dashboard or the advanced dashboard, and information is consistent. If you have completed the work order, then you can switch the status to completed. Some of you might want to switch your status to pending review. If I use the pending review status, that will give the ticket a completed date, but it means that the work order can still be edited or additional information can be added to the system. For example, you might be waiting to add invoice information or parts. You can also use those statuses as well. If I have in fact completed all the information on this ticket, I'll switch the status to completed, and that would be step 1. Notice that my save button is grayed out. This will tell me what steps are still necessary in order to close my work order. If there is a resource associated to a ticket, they'll have to click on the Add button. This allows technicians to timestamp or communicate with other people when any changes or jobs were completed or addressed. You can even change to specific hours or minutes. The last mandatory field is to add my regular hours, and this is done in decimal format. 0.25 means 15 minutes, 0.5 would be half an hour, and 1 would be an hour. Once I've added the mandatory fields, notice my OK button is in blue, and now my Save button is also in blue. I can now close this work order out. This feature means that you need or require a signature. So the next question that usually comes is, well, where did my work order go? Notice that it's removed from the to-do list. That's when you'll want to make use of the work order search feature. When you click on this panel here, it allows you to filter or be more specific about the information that you're looking for. The less you filter, the larger your results, meaning it will assume demands and PMs of any work category associated to any resource. And by default, we have the work orders of any open status selected. But maybe I want to see all my completed work orders that are PMs generated within a particular time frame. Once I hit search, I'll get my results at the bottom half of the screen. Here, you can also click on the row to open up the ticket. Notice once a work order has been completed, then all the fields are grayed out. If there's any additional information that you'll need to add to this work order, scroll down to the bottom and make use of the associated work field. When I click on the arrow, it allows me to create a new ticket, meaning I'll create a new demand work order that will always be associated to this ticket number. You can print any work order by clicking on the button at the bottom of the form. Work order search feature is great if you need to print multiple work orders at once or batch print. When I click on the check mark next to the ID number, that means the highlighted rows are the tickets that I wish to print. I then go ahead and click on the print icon. Each work order will be printed on one page. This is great if you need to, say, select a particular resource or work category, group those tickets together, and then print them at once. Once I'm finished with the work order search feature, I'll close the screen out using the X icon in the top right corner. Again, when I go back to the enterprise level, notice that there's a work order search feature here as well. But enterprise level means that you're going to search for tickets system-wide, meaning including all the facilities. Drill down to the facility level for more detailed or facility-specific information. Now, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, keep an eye out for this icon here. When you click on this icon, this allows you to send a message to our support team. We also have this feature where you can click here to record your screen. So, for example, maybe you're having a hard time communicating or not sure what's going on in the system, click here to record your screen, and that will send it to our support team. Well, they'll get back to you right when you're in the system. And if you're not logged in at that time, we'll send you an email. If you'd like to see our Hippo Help Center complete library of guides and videos, we also have support and feedback panel located here. When I click on the Help Center, that will take you to our complete library where you can watch loads of videos or even use our keyword search. How to close a work order? There's a video right here. So that completes your Express Training 1. Thank you for joining me today. And again, do not hesitate to contact our support team. If you ever have any questions or feedback, we're always here to help.